Welcome back to Heath's House, where we do a little bit of everything all the time, and it usually turns out right. I'm doing a fundraiser tomorrow at Decipher Brewing, and this is a 16-pound brisket. I'm getting ready to trim this up a little bit, take off some of the fat, and then I'm going to season it with some salt, garlic, and pepper, throw it on the smoker. It should be done just in time for the cookout tomorrow. And I know there's about 1,000,001 ways to trim a brisket. Me, I tend to take off a lot of the fat. When this thing hits like, I don't remember what it is, like 160 or so, I have butcher paper, and I'm going to wrap it. Keeps it more moist that way, helps me control everything, and I don't have to worry about it as much because I'm typically busy. And right now I've been so busy. This was supposed to be smoked the other day. I've been going nonstop doing stuff. So yeah, this is getting wrapped at 160. Then it's going to sit in the smoker till it hits like 203. And it's going to be perfect. So I'm just going to go right now. I'm going to trim basically all the fat off of this side. This is the bottom side. Ooh, that splattered. And then I'm going to trim not all the fat off of this side, but I'm going to take it down pretty thin, like 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to take these big chunks off right here. And then I'm going to take those chunks and I'm going to melt them down for tallow. So I'm going to get to work and we'll check back in a few minutes. And sometimes, if you notice on the briskets, they'll get this like gray area. You can leave that on. It's not going to be bad, but I like to take it off. So I just trim that off real quick. And then this is my Bodie pile. So Bodie's going to get all this stuff. Sometimes I'll grind it up into like little burgers. Throw it in some smoked portobello mushrooms. Oh, God. Ground up brisket and a smoked portobello mushroom is delicious. Yeah, but see how thick this fat is right here? Because I'm going to wrap it, this is not going to melt off all the way. And then you're just left with a big piece of fat you got to cut later on. And then you waste the fat. I can take this, I can melt this up, and I can reuse this. Yeah, that's going to be some good, whatever I use it for. Cooking probably. And when I'm trimming this, you'll see me throw some of this fat in the trash. This is soft, squishy, like kind of like slimy fat. And this stuff is just, you can see this is just hard. This stuff makes good, this stuff renders down really well. The other stuff can get some off flavors. So I kind of just use that thick, chunky fat when I render my tallow out, and then the rest of it goes in the trash. Although you could fry these up if you wanted to. And then with both veins of this big chunk of fat right here that's hard, you just kind of got to feel it. It depends on the cut. It's a little bit different. Yeah, see, this one's not very thick. It looks thick, but it's not. So I'm going to start up here and just kind of go down because I don't want to make bare meat on top of this. And if I accidentally do go down too deep, I'll cover it up with some of these fat scraps. Because I want the whole top covered with some fat as a moisture barrier. And this one actually is pretty good. It's not very thick right here, which is sweet. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do. Trim this fat off, this meat off for Bodie. All right, I'm going to season this up. Then I'm going to wrap it in plastic. And then we're going to get started. So I'm going to get some plastic wrap out real quick. All right, I got the plastic wrap laid out. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to season the top first and then flip it over. And like I said, I don't do a lot of seasonings on my brisket. I really like the smoke flavor. I do salt. And I really like this salt. You can get it in any Latin market or some restaurant. I mean, some regular grocery stores have it, but it's a coarse sea salt. and I just like it. So I'm gonna put salt. Coarse black pepper. And really, with brisket, you guys can season this any way you want. It's whatever your flavor you like. I really like the flavor of the smoke. But this right here, to me, is my favorite right here. Just salt, garlic, and pepper. All right, I got it flipped over. Same thing on the other side. This I'm gonna put a lot of salt on, but when it's on the smoker, most of the salt's gonna come off. But I'm gonna set this in the fridge for a few hours. And so I want this to soak down into the meat. A little bit more black pepper.
Dad?
Yeah, dude.
Can we go to Jamie's house tonight?
Not tonight. We got a lot of meat to smoke tonight, so.
Can we play tennis tonight?
I don't know. We might not be able to do tennis tonight.
I'm going to set up it outside.
All right. Oh, in the driveway? Yeah. We could probably do that.
Not like I'm not the tennis court.
All right. Whoa. Wow, that's a lot of garlic. Didn't mean that.
You can use Liam's or Luke's.
All right. Now, I'm just going to wrap it up.
Not mine. When do you start liking these now? Dad, Lobo's never like these. Now he's just chasing like these. He's going the other way, so he can get a bite of it.
You want to definitely make sure this is sealed and all the seams are on top because you don't want this to leak in your fridge. Your wife will not be happy with a bloody fridge. And normally, I would let this sit for like 8 to 12 hours. But today, it's only going to sit for about 2 or 3 because I've got to get this on the smoker.